Hello everyone. Myself N. Rajeshwari. I am working as a contract lecturer in electrical department in Government Polytechnic College area. I am dealing with the subject electrical power system. In today's class, I will explain types of transmission lines and what is a Ferranti effect and corona loss in performance of transmission lines. So before going to take the class, I would like to tell that in previous classes, I explained about line parameters which are affect the single phase, three phase, and the three phase symmetrically spaced and unsymmetrically spaced conductors. For that, we will calculate the. I explained the how to calculate the inductance and capacitance of those transmission lines. In this class, I will explain what are the types of transmission lines and what is the Ferranti effect, and also what is a corona loss and what are the factors affecting the corona loss. Coming to the overhead transmission lines, the transmission line constants are resistance, inductance, and capacitance are uniformly distributed along the length of the line. These constants, resistance and inductance capacitance will affect the transmission lines. So these transmission lines are mainly classified into three types. There are short transmission lines, medium transmission lines, and long transmission lines according to the length of the transmission line. Classification based on length of the transmission line will be given by three types. So one is a short transmission line and a medium transmission line and also long transmission line. So coming to a short transmission line, the length of the line is less than 80 kilometers and line voltage is less than 20 kilovolts are termed as short transmission lines. Due to the smaller length and lower voltage, the capacitance effects are very small and hence it is neglected. So the capacitance effect will be neglected. And the length of the line is 80 kilometers and voltage is 20 kilovolts. So that is those lines are called short transmission lines. And in this short transmission lines, we will neglect the capacitance effect because of small length and lower voltage. And overhead transmission line up to 80 kilometers for short transmission line and voltage level greater than 20 kV and capacitance effect negligible, and also the resistance and inductance effects are taken into the account in short transmission lines. There are two parameters will affect the short transmission lines. Coming to the medium transmission line, the length of the line lies between 80 kilometers to 240 kilometers and line voltages lies between 20 to 100 kilovolts are termed as medium transmission lines. Due to the sufficient length and line voltage, the capacitance effects are taken into account in medium transmission lines. So in this medium transmission lines, the line voltage is high, which is greater than 20 kV and less than 100 kV. That means 20 to 100 kV voltage will flow in this medium transmission lines. And OH lines, that means overhead transmission lines, is about 80 to 160 kilometers of length, and capacitance effects are considered in medium transmission lines, and condensers shunted across the line and one or more points. These condensers are connected across the line and one or more points. coming to long transmission lines, the length of the line are more than 240 kilometers and line voltage is greater than 100 kV are termed as long transmission lines. Here, the capacitance effects are taken into account as the medium transmission lines. So in this long transmission line voltage is greater than 100 kV and line constants are considered uniformly distributed and overhead transmission line is more than 240 or 160 kilometers. And coming to voltage regulation, when the transmission line carrying a current, there is a voltage drop in line due to the resistance and inductance of the lines. So due to this, the receiving end voltage is less than the sending end voltage. And the drop in the line will be Vs minus Vr, that is sending end voltage minus receiving end voltage. The ratio of voltage drop Vs minus Vr to the receiving end is known as voltage regulation. So the voltage regulation is given by Vs minus Vr by Vr. That is the drop in line, that is the sending end voltage minus receiving end voltage divided by the receiving end voltage is called as voltage regulation of transmission line. And coming to the percentage voltage regulation, the voltage regulation is expressed in percentage, then it is known as percentage regulation. So percentage regulation is given by Vs minus Vr divided by Vr into 100. So this is percentage voltage regulation. An approximate formula for percentage and voltage regulation by taking I is a reference. So this is the current as reference and this voltage, receiving end voltage VR lags. So if we take this I as reference, this VR leads the current by phi r angle, and this is the IR drop and this is IX drop and this is total Vs. So Vs is nothing but VR plus IR cos phi r plus IR IX sin phi r. So here 0 to A, B, H and G, F, C, these are the some of the points for finding approximate formula for a percentage regulation. This is the phasor diagram. From the vector diagram, so in this from this diagram, the OC is nearly equal to OF. That means this OC will be nearly equal to OF and OC is equal to OF. OF is nothing but OA plus AF. So this is the point A to AF. So OA plus AF is given as OF. So AF is nothing but AG plus GF. AG plus GF. So OA plus AG plus GF, where GF is equal to BH. This is GF, which is equal to BH. So finally, OSC is equal to OA plus AG plus BH. So therefore, OC is nothing but BS, which is equal to OA is BR plus AG is IR cos phi r plus BH is IXL sin phi r. So this is the sending end voltage from the vector diagram of approximate formula. But the voltage regulation will be given by Vs minus Vr divided by Vr. Therefore, Vs minus Vr will be IR cos phi r plus IXL sin phi r. So from this, this VR is comes to this side as negative. DS minus VR is equal to IR cos phi r plus IXL sin phi r. So voltage regulation is equal to Vs minus VR by VR. So which is equal to voltage regulation is equal to IR cos phi r plus IXL sin phi r divided by VR. It is a voltage regulation. And coming to the percentage voltage regulation, so percentage voltage regulation for lagging power factor will be IR cos phi r plus IXL sin phi r by VR into 100, and percentage voltage regulation for leading power factor will be IR cos phi r minus IXL sin phi r divided by VR into 100. So these are the approximate formulas for percentage regulation with lagging and leading power factors. And next, coming to short transmission line. The line diagram of short transmission line is given in this figure. So this is the resistance R and reactance XL, and voltage at sending end is S and receiving end will be BR. This is the load side. So current flowing through this circuit will be I. So in short transmission line, there is a no capacitive effect because length of the line is small and also lower voltages will be there in short transmission line. Why? Because in short transmission lines, capacitance effect is also neglected. And this is a short transmission line equivalent circuit IS, DS, IR, VR, R plus JX. So this is R and this is L. The equivalent circuit phasor diagram will be IX is a reference. So sorry, IR is reference, and VR leads by 5 degrees, and this is the IR R and J into IR X, and this is the VS. So this figure shows the phasor diagram for short transmission lines. From the phasor diagram, I is equal to load current in amperes, and R is the loop resistance, and XL is the loop reactance, and VR is the receiving end voltage, and VS is sending end voltage. So where phi r, cos phi r is receiving end power factor, and cos phi s is sending end power factor. So the phasor diagram is as shown in this figure. So IR and this is VR, IR, IXL and VS. The sending end voltage Vs is obtained from Pythagoras theorem. So from the phasor diagram, the right angle triangle ODC, from this ODC, OC square is equal to OD square plus CD square or DC square. From this OCD, OC square is equal to OD square plus DC square, where DC is equal to DB plus DC and OD is equal to OE plus ED. So OC is VS and OC square is equal to VS square. So VS square is equal to OE plus ED whole square plus DB plus DC whole square. And OE is VR cos phi r, and ED is IR, and DB is VR sin phi r, and DC is I into XL. So VS square is equal to VR cos phi r plus IR whole square, and VR sin phi r plus IXL whole square. And Vs square is equal to VR cos phi r plus IR whole square plus VR sin phi r IXL whole square by Vs is equal to under root of VR cos phi r plus IR and VR sin pi r plus IXL whole square. So this is the VR cos pi r plus IR whole square plus VR sin pi r plus IXL whole square under root. So it will give the sending end voltage as Vs. And next, coming to the voltage regulation of short transmission lines. So voltage regulation is given by Vs minus Vr by Vr. And coming to the percentage voltage regulation, Vs minus Vr by Vr into 100. From the figure phasor diagram, sending end power factor will be cos pi s, that is OD by OC. OD is nothing but VR cos pi r plus IR by OC is Vs. So this is the sending end power factor. And coming to the efficiency of the transmission line, the receiving end power is equal to VR IR cos pi r, and sending end power is equal to VR IR cos pi r plus I square R. And line losses will be I square R. So the transmission efficiency is equal to receiving end power divided by sending end power into 100. So by substituting these, we'll get the transmission efficiency. So we will see some of the problems regarding these voltage, current, and transmission efficiency, and sending end voltage and receiving end voltage. So some few problems we will see in this class of short transmission lines. Coming to first problem, a three-phase line delivers 3600 kilowatts at a power factor 0.8 lagging to a load when the sending end voltage is 33 kV, if resistance and reactance are 5.31 ohm and 5.5 ohms respectively. Determine the receiving end voltage, the first one, and second one is line current, and the third is transmission efficiency. For this, we have to write the data for the solution of the problem. So given data is power per phase is 3600 kilowatts. Per phase value is 3600 divided by 3 because it's a three-phase power. So 1200 kilowatts is a power per phase, and the resistance will be 5.31 ohms, and reactance is 5.454 ohms. And power factor is cos pi r, which is equal to 0.8 lagging. And the sending end voltage Vs is equal to 33,000 divided by root 3 because it's a phase voltage, and 33 kV as sending end voltage. So 33 kV or 33,000 divided by root 3 will get the phase voltage as sending end voltage PL by root 3 as V phase, so which is equal to 19,052 volts. So we have to be find that receiving end voltage VR and line current IL and transmission efficiency eta transmission. For this first one, we have to find the receiving end voltage VR. So power delivered per phase will be P is equal to VR IR cos pi r. So where I is equal to P by VR cos pi r. So we will have the power and also voltage of sending end and angle. From this, we will create one relation between VR and I. So I is equal to 1200 because it's a single phase. 1200 kilowatts, that is 1000 divided by VR and into 0.8 is the cos pi r. That's the power factor. So by simplifying this, I is equal to 150 into 10 to the power of 5 divided by VR. The sending end voltage Vs is equal to VR plus IR cos phi R plus Ix sin phi R. So by substituting the values, we will get the value of VR. So by substituting these values, we will form an equation in terms of VR. So that is 19,052 is equal to VR plus 15 into 10 to the power of 5 into 5.31 into 0.8 divided by VR plus 15 into 10 to the power of 5 into 5.54 into 0.6. Cos pi r is 0.8, then sin pi r is 0.6 divided by VR. So by simplifying this, we will get this equation like this: VR square is equal to VR square minus 19,052 VR plus 113 lakhs 58,000 equal to 0. By solving above equation, we will get the answer by using the calci. We will get the finally answer is VR is equal to 18,435 volts is the receiving end voltage. And next, coming to the current, the line voltage at receiving end will be we find that phase voltage. For that, we will find the line voltage at receiving end will be VR is equal to root 3 times V. So root 3 into 18,435, which is equal to 31,930 volts. So from this, we will find the line current, which is equal to I, which is equal to the 15 into 10 to the power of 5 divided by VR. So by substituting this VR value, 18,435 as phase voltage, because phase and line is same in this connection. So 81.36 amperes will get the line current, and the line losses will be 3 times of I square R, because it is a 3 phase. So 3 times I square R, and 3 into 81.36 whole square into R is 5.31. So which is equal to 1,05,447 watts. So next thing is transmission efficiency. So transmission efficiency is equal to receiving end power divided by receiving end power plus losses into 100. So 3600 divided by 3600 plus 105.447 kilowatts into 100. So we will get the answer as efficiency of 97.15% as a transmission efficiency. And coming to next problem, a load of 4,000 kilowatts at 1100 volts is being received from a single phase transmission line at a power factor of 0.9 lakh. Sorry. If resistance R is equal to 0.18 ohms and X is equal to 0.02 ohms respectively. Neglect the capacitance of the line because it is the short transmission line. So calculate sending end voltage and current and also power factor. These are 3 factors we have to calculate. So for this, the given data will be power is equal to 4,000 kilowatts, voltage is 1100 volts, and power factor is 0.9. R is the 0.18 ohms and X is 0.02 ohms. So these are the values. So receiving end voltage is 1100 volts and power is 4000 kilowatts and resistance is 0.018 ohms and 0.02 is the XL. So for this IR will be P by VR cos phi R. So IR is equal to 4000 into 1000 with 4000 kilowatts, that is 4000 into 1000 divided by 1100 into 0.9. So we will get the receiving end current will be 4040, that is 4040 amperes, and cos phi R is 0.9, sin phi R will be 0.4352. Then go for resistance, and resistance for go and return conductor will be 2 times of 0.018, which is equal to 0.036 ohms, and the resistance is reactance is X, which is equal to 2 times of 0.02, which is equal to 0.04 ohms for go and return conductors. These are the values. So by substituting the values in this equation, Vs square is equal to Vr cos phi R plus Ir whole square plus Vr sin phi R plus Ix whole square. So in this, Vr is 1100 into 0.9 and I is 4040 and R is 0.036. So by substituting these values, in this VR is 1100 into sin pi R is 0.4352 and I is 4040 into 0.4 is the reactance. So finally we'll get the answer as Vs square is 5677, that is 56,77,075.8 volts by applying a square root. Vs is equal to 2382.66 volts. So that is the sending end voltage. And coming to the sending end power factor, so that is cos phi s, which is equal to Vr cos phi R plus IR divided by Vs. So that is Vr is 1100 into cos phi R is 0.9 plus I is 4040 into R is 0.036 divided by Vs is 2382.66. So by substituting and simplifying these values, we'll get the cos phi S are sending end power factor as 0.47 lagging. So this is the one more problem. And next coming to the Ferranti effect in transmission lines. So what is the Ferranti effect? The Ferranti effect is nothing but the receiving end voltage is higher than the sending end voltage. Normally, the receiving end voltage is lower than the sending end voltage, but in Ferranti effect, the receiving end voltage will be high as that of sending end voltage. So, in a long transmission line, when the line is open circuited or very lightly loaded, the rise of voltage occurs at the receiving end is known as Ferranti effect. And the above pressure rise due to the EMF of self-inductance of the charging current. And to determine the magnitude of pressure rise, 1/2 of the total line capacitance will be assumed to be concentrated at the receiving end. So by these, the receiving end voltage will rise from low to high in open circuited and very light loaded conditions. So VR is greater than Vs. So this is the effect of Ferranti effect. And coming to the corona loss in transmission lines or corona in transmission lines. So coming to the corona in transmission lines, so when the voltage between the conductors of overhead lines exceeds a certain value, so that in that case the air surrounded by it will be broken or ionization starts. So the corona is nothing but it is a sum of the um, violet glow color and hissing noise. So is completely known as corona. So when voltage between the two conductors will be exceeds its certain uh, maximum value, the air is surrounded by the conductor will be broken or ionization will be started at that moment. The voltage at which ionization starts is called disruptive critical voltage, that is VD. The voltage at which the ionization will start is known as the disruptive critical voltage, that is VD. If the voltage exceeds the disruptive critical voltage, a hissing noise is heard and the conductors are surrounded by the luminous envelope. So the voltage other than certain value, it exceeds other than certain value, the disruptive, that means the disruptive voltage. So the voltage is exceeds the disruptive voltage, some hissing noise, and some luminous glow envelope will be formed in that condition. So the voltage at which this occurs is called visual critical voltage, that is VV. So hissing noise heard and the luminous envelope will surrounded by the conductors are at the voltage exceeds the disruptive voltage. That voltage is called as visual critical voltage, that is VV. The phenomena of hissing noise and violet glow and production of ozone is called as corona. So by the factor of voltage exceeds the certain voltage limits. So high voltages will create the effect of corona in transmission lines. So in that condition, if voltage in between the conductors will exceed certain values, then there is a brokening of conductor or ionization of the conductor will take place. So in that case, the hissing noise and luminous envelope will be formed. So the phenomena of hissing noise and violet glow and production of ozone is called corona. These violet glow and hissing noise will produce the ozone layer. So it is called a corona. So coming to definition of corona. So corona is due to the bombardment of air molecules with subsequent disloading of electrons or by ionized particles. So the phenomena of are the phenomenon of violet glow, hissing noise, and production of ozone gas in an overhead transmission lines is known as corona. If the conductors are uniform and smooth, the same conditions will hold good throughout the length of the conductor. If the conductors are not uniform and smooth, that is rough points will appear brighter. In case of DC system, the positive conductor will have the uniform glow and will brighter than negative one. In case of DC systems. So positive conductor will have the highest glow or uniform glow and will brighter than the negative uh, conductor of DC system. So the luminous blue envelope is nothing but a breakdown of air into ions under high electrostatic stress. So this the luminous blue envelope is nothing but the breakdown of air into ions. And the breakdown starts first near the surface of the conductor because the electrostatic stress is maximum at the surface of the conductor. So at the surface of the conductor, electrostatic stresses are maximum. So by that reason, the breakdown starts near the surface of the conductor. So the thickness of the conducting layer of air increases with increasing the supply voltage. If the supply voltage is increases, that means the thickness of conducting layer of air is also increases. And coming to the factors affecting the corona. So some of the factors which affects the corona. So those factors are namely atmosphere, conductors, and line voltage and spacing between the conductors. So coming to the atmosphere, in stormy weather conditions, the number of ions in atmosphere is more as compared to fair weather conditions. Hence, corona will occur in stormy weather at much less than voltage compared with the fairy weather. So the atmosphere will affect the corona. That is, stormy weather conditions, number of ions in the atmosphere are more than fair weather conditions. So that it will corona will occur stormy weather at much less than voltage compared with the fairy weather. In fairy weather, it is high voltage will appears across the transmission line. And coming to the conductors. So corona decreases with increase in diameter of the conductor. If the diameter increases, then the corona will decreases. It is inversely proportional to the diameter of the conductor. So corona is more in standard conductors as compared to solid conductors. So in standard conductors, the corona effect will be much high, and in solid conductors compared to standard, these are low in solid conductors. And corona is more in rough and dirty surface of the conductors as compared to the smooth conductors. In smooth conductors, the corona is less, but in rough and dirty surface of the conductors, the corona is more than smooth conductors. And coming to the spacing between the conductors. If the spacing between the conductors is large as compared with their diameter, there is no formation of corona. So if the spacing is increases, then the diameter of the diameter of the conductor is less than the spacing between the conductors. So there is no the formation. There is no formation of corona in spacing between the conductors is large. So there is no corona formation. And less spacing between the conductors, then there is a formation of corona will be there in the transmission lines. And coming to the line voltage, at low voltages, there is no corona, but at higher line voltages, corona will appear, corona effect will appear. So at low voltages, there is no problem of corona, but in high voltage, high line voltages, the increasing exceeds the certain values. So then there will be the corona effect will start. So in higher line voltages, will get the corona effect, and in lower voltage conditions, it is no question of corona. And coming to the disruptive critical voltage, the minimum phase to neutral voltage at which corona occurs is known as disruptive critical voltage. So minimum phase to neutral voltage. That voltage at that particular voltage, the corona will occurs. That voltage is nothing but disruptive critical voltage, VV, VD, and it is calculated by the following equation. So in case of two parallel conductors, the maximum potential gradient is given by G maximum, which is equal to Vc by R into log of D by R. And where Vc is the RMS voltage of the conductor to neutral, and small r is the radius of the conductor in centimeters, and D is the spacing between the conductor in centimeters. So the breakdown strength of air at 760 mm pressure and temperature of 25 degrees centigrade is 30 kV per centimeters. Maximum are 21.1 kV per centimeter, that is RMS, and is denoted by G naught. And the value of G naught depends on the density of air. The dielectric strength of air is proportional to its density over a wide range, and the dielectric strength of air is directly proportional to the barometric pressure B and inversely proportional to the absolute temperature T. The breakdown strength at barometric pressure of B centimeters mercury and temperature of T degree centigrade becomes del G naught. So where del is equal to 3.92 B by 273 plus T. So if VD is the voltage to the neutral at which breakdown occurs, then a critical disruptive voltage Vc is equal to G naught and del small r and log D by R kV RMS to the neutral. And in practice, it is necessary to allow for the condition of surface of the wire so that Vc is equal to G naught del M naught R log of D by R, where M naught is the roughness factor or irregularity factor. This is the value of 1 for smooth and clean wires, and for rough wires it is 0.98 to 0.93, and for stranded wires these are 0.87 to 0.8. And small g is a maximum potential gradient or breakdown value of air, which is equal to 30 kV maximum per centimeter or 21.2 kilovolts RMS per centimeter. And del is the density of the air surrounding by the conductor, that is equal to 3.92 B by 273 plus T degrees. So where B is the pressure in centimeters of mercury, and small r is the radius of the conductor in centimeters, and D is equal distance between the conductor in centimeters. Therefore, BC is equal to 21.2 MC del log of capital D by R kilovolts RMS to neutral. This is the critical disruptive voltage. So this is about today's class, and we will see the next class in with some other topic. So this is all about today. Thank you.